Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last episode of our podcast, How to F1 in Schools. Today, we're going to talk with Moritz.
Hello again. I'm Moritz. I'm the marketing manager.
And me, I'm the project manager. We're going to give you the probably deepest insights we can about what our journey right now, from the initiation of the preparation for the F1 in Schools World Finals that we had in May to right now, which is 1 month prior to the F1 in Schools World Finals. This means that we're working, I think, all the time right now.
That's true.
And we're going to give you and outline a single thing we have done so far, and really try to give you the best experience you can have and the best
input.
Convey to you what we've done so far.
Yeah, that's true. And I think we should start with what our first steps in each of the competition elements were.
Yeah.
And I could start for my portfolio, the portfolio enterprise. So first of all, very basic but also essential is to write a structure. So you write down each aspect you want to write about in your portfolio, and you also have to correspond these aspects with your scorecards. So you look at the scorecards, look what the key aspects of each KPI is, and then you write them down as headlines, and then you have a basic structure, and that's also, I'd say, half of what you need to do, because then you have the fundamentals and then you can go on with writing.
And as we're going on chronologically, I think this is the first step that we even did right after initiation, was taking a look at the scorecards for every single deliverable that has to be defined during initiation, and taking a look at what we are going to do in order to fulfill this scorecard and in order to get as many points as possible. And the things that we focused on after taking a look at the different scorecards were definitely two, which I think was in June and July, which was first of all the most important thing. And that's, I think, very important for everyone, that shouldn't be forgotten, although it doesn't translate to a direct project deliverable, is the acquisition of sponsors. And the second thing that we really focused on was the design of the car. I think these are the two things that take the most time. And that's also because portfolios in the end are documentations of your work. So in order to be able to write portfolios, you first of all should start doing the work. And that's actually what we did. And Moritz, would you like to tell everybody how we tried to start our sponsorship strategy in the starting months of July and June?
Yeah, so first of all, I think we started our sponsor acquisition shortly after our German finals. I think it was in the beginning of June.
Yeah.
And first of all, what you need to do is develop your brand, or what your values of, or what the values of your brand are, and then you can look for companies with which you have a brand alignment. So you look for companies who have the same values, and then just very simple, you create, for example, in Excel a sheet, and there you write down, for example, 100 companies who roughly have the same values. And then you can do sprints where you allocate each of the team members, for example, 10 companies, and by this process you achieve, 60 mails to potential sponsors per week. And I think this system worked out very well in our case.
Actually, yeah.
And I think just after, so first of all, you're very afraid of having zero euros in our case. But I think 3 or 4 weeks after the start of our sprint of the sponsor acquisition, we already had 5 to 10,000 euros. I think from some point on it went very well.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think that one of the main takeaway learnings that I, for example, had is that, of course, over the process of trying to communicate with sponsors, you're going to get rejected a lot. Well, we had a lot of sponsors who said, or a lot of potential sponsors who said, okay, we really like your project, and who we even introduced to who we talked to, and who said, okay, we really like your project, but right now we don't have the option to support you in any way. And this is, of course, always a very hard thing to get and to understand. But I think that it's important to see that this shouldn't let you down and let you think that, okay, let's stop with trying to get new sponsors now, but it should only motivate you to really continue and work towards your goal. And I think so this went really well with the sponsor acquisition at the beginning. And of course, I think the second main thing that we worked on at the beginning was the car.
That's true.
I mean, we basically developed different concepts of what we wanted to build. And then I remember we have our summer holidays in Germany for 6 weeks, which was for us just meeting every day at 10 o'clock on Discord, which was really crazy.
Yeah.
And also, in the last 2 weeks, we actually started testing our cars, which was I think really difficult and also mentally tough, because we worked. I think there's not been a day when testing our car that we did not work for 12 hours.
Yeah, but what I have to add to this is, yeah, it was tough, the testing was tough, but over the whole week I think the atmosphere was very great, because we all were I don't know, in other countries, had holidays, and then we came back to work together in presence, and we also had some music every day at, I don't know,
we had half an hour of lunch break, which was always really fun. It was
break.
really fun.
Two of us went to the supermarket and got something to eat, and this atmosphere just was very good, and also helped us by testing efficiently, I'd say.
And I also think that it's important that you do something together with your team. I think it's really nice to interact in person and everything, and this is also really important, and you could even say that it's team building. This working together over a really long period of time, which I think every team that tries to qualify for the World Finals needs to learn, how you work together, how you, even when there's a lot of work, have fun together even. And I think that's also one of the main learnings you can have from this. So that's really important.
Yeah.
That's really important.
So let's go on with our actual work, what we have done. So yeah, that was our week of testing. But now we have 1 month left for finishing our competition elements, especially our pit display. But our portfolios have to be
Submitted in 3 weeks, right?
3 weeks on the 8th of November.
Yeah.
So we don't have that much time anymore. And I don't know, you're writing the portfolio management, and maybe you just can tell something about it and what your actual progress is.
Yeah. So right now, I think with the portfolio management, we're at about 3.5 pages done, because I think a great way, and this is one of maybe the most important learnings that we're going to have to talk about today, is that you have to start with the portfolios as early as possible. Because one of the main things that you have to do in the portfolio is not just talk about something that would have been nice, but actually explain what you implemented in the project over the course of the project. And that's why, for example, at the beginning, I think in June, already 2 pages for the portfolio were done. You know, the work breakdown structure, the Gantt chart, the scope statement, the project charter, everything was already done. And now I've just put it all together, and we're now at 3.5 pages. But I think autumn break has started right now.
Autumn break, yeah.
And so I think this is going to be, it's not going to be a break, but more of a working break for everyone in schools. And so I think we're going to be done and start the review phase for the portfolio in, I think, 1.5 weeks or something.
Yeah, but that's a very good point you're talking about, because I think the progress of writing a portfolio or building the pit display is a step-by-step progress. So if you, I don't know, start 5 months, if you have the time, before the competition, just writing small texts or making some bullet points, that's very important, because if you start writing your portfolios, I don't know, 2 weeks before the competition, and you realize how much work you need to put into the portfolio actually to receive like a good or to succeed, that's not going to be enough time for really writing a good portfolio or building a good pit display.
Yeah.
So doing it step by step is really the key for delivering a very good or excellent competition element.
And I also think that this is actually the task of, it's my task actually, the management, to start the tasks as early as possible, but also to manage that resources are available when they're needed. For example, the production of our car, we needed to know when we can mill the cars at Baker Hughes, our milling sponsor, to then be able to test them actually during the test week, which is actually, although it's just a school project, a pretty difficult management task, which is also really important. So you should get your management straight from the start and know what the scope of your project is and divide it in a Gantt chart. I'm a very big fan of Gantt charts.
Yeah.
And I think that they really benefit in having a good and brief overview of the project.
Yeah, so that were our two portfolios about the pit display. We could say we have started giving it into the construction. So the concept phase is of course over, and also with the presentation we're on it, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the presentation is of course something that many teams think is not as important, and you'd say, okay, we're just going to do it at the end and then freestyle it. And I think that at least when you're going to the World Finals, having a presentation that you know word by word, where you know everything that you're going to say is necessary. Because if you want to score the max amount of points, then you have to prepare in advance, have it prepared really well, and know your text. You should not tell it like you know it from your head and like you're reading it or something, but you should know your text word for word. And that's why right now we're actually preparing the presentation. We're going to be done with the slides in, I think, 7 or 10 days. And then we're going to write scripts for every person, and everybody will have to know what they're going to say. And so I think that the presentation is something that's often neglected by many teams, but should really be a priority, as it's the second highest area of competition, the deliverable that gets the second most points after the car. And so I think it's really relevant.
Yeah, so these are our competition elements, and we hope that you guys think of our tips we gave you for your competition elements.
And then you also hopefully got an idea of what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm. And the final result you see at the World Finals. And yeah, we're hoping to score very high, of course.
Of course.
Ja.
Moritz, müssen wir cutten, das war gerade echt schwach. Die letzten 2 Minuten, also wir können dieses we're hoping to score very high und weiß ich was.
Ja, aber was willst du noch sagen? Also
ich würde jetzt sagen, today we're going to skip. Warte, lass mich einfach jetzt so ein bisschen was sagen.
Ja, aber ich will auch noch irgendwas sagen. Ja. Dann sag mir jetzt, was ich sagen
will. Sag du jetzt mal sowas in Richtung von, heute skippen wir den Lernpart. Wir hoffen, dass ihr jetzt schon ein bisschen was davon geerdet habt, was wir alles machen und so weiter. Und wir sind jetzt im Grunde genommen done. Oder,
aber da hab ich doch basically gesagt. Oder
ja,
was?
Nein, aber als wir irgendwie, wir können nicht sowas drin lassen wie of course, weiß ich was, und dann...
Ja, gut, aber es kann ja auch jetzt nicht so eine starre Kacke
sein. Nein, so ist doch gut. Wir gehen jetzt zurück. Es wird, achso.
Ah.
Ja, also der Part hier irgendwo wird gecuttet. Und jetzt sagst du einfach nochmal so 2 Minuten oder so, 1 Minute sprichst du nochmal kurz. Ja?
Ja.
Und dann ist Ende Gelände. So.
Yeah, so overall we hope that you guys learned a lot of things from what we were talking about, and I think one of the key aspects is just start in advance. So start writing in advance, start concept phases in advance, so start concepting start concepting?
Moritz, komm. Moritz, jetzt einmal Fokus. Fokus.
Ist gut. Okay. So overall, we hope that you guys learned a lot of things from which we talked about, and just one of our key aspects is really start in advance. So start writing your portfolios in advance, start concept phases in advance, and if you really think of these aspects and implement them into your work progress, then it's really sure that you're going to have excellent results and you are going to score high. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for everybody of you to listening actually to our podcast. It was really fun for us to make it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, English is not our native language, and so we tried our best at talking as freely as possible. Yeah, we hope that all of you enjoyed it, and of course, if you have any questions about competition elements or something, or anything that we maybe did not explain as well as we could have explained it, you can definitely take a look at our Instagram, which is at Team Array Germany. You can also take a look at our TikTok, our YouTube, where these episodes are going to be published as well. And if you have any questions or want to ask our team anything, I think we're always available. Really thank you for listening.
Yeah, so that's it with How to Have One in Schools. We hope you liked all of our 5 episodes, if you listen to all of them. And that's it from us, and you'll see our results from the World Finals very soon, in roughly a month. Yeah. So, see you.